I asked you if you were seeing anyone right before like the experiment started. How do you go from like seeing someone so recently to like, I'm ready for marriage? That just seems like a huge like step in between where it's like, how did you, I don't know.
I'm happy that production said, let's bring the receipts. Let's bring the receipts. Since you're saying this guy, followed you on Instagram, here's your phone, check it, and let's keep it stepping. I think they didn't want to take them on this trip to Honduras unless it was certified that definitely there's no sort of plans or whatever that was strategies that were put in place in order to win her. So I'm happy that that was done. And also I loved Daniel's response. I loved how calm he was throughout the whole thing. He didn't shout, he didn't scream, he didn't become defensive. He just sat there and just waited for her to sort of view her phone. And I think her viewing her phone and realizing that actually he's not the one sort of put her off, and I don't know whether it's because she didn't like him or whatever happened there. And then Lauren and Dave, who saw this coming? I did. It was only a matter of time. It was only a matter of time. On Love is Blind, every time you see someone in a love square, it's a matter of time before they have buyer's remorse in most situations. And here we have Exhibit A, Dave. Anyway, hey there, thanks for stopping by. It's your girl Valerie. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, click the like button, turn on the notification bell for when I upload new videos, and definitely leave a comment. In this episode, I'll be reviewing Love is Blind, Season 8, Episode 7. We have a continuation of the conversation between Danielle and Taylor. And for me, that conversation, I'm happy that production actually brought out her phone so that she could look, because she was claiming that she had an app on her phone that could tell her who had followed her, whether they had followed and unfollowed, but she'll be able to tell. So I'm happy that they were able to actually sit down and actually go and have her go through her phone. And then when she realized that she had made a mistake, I don't know whether there was a sense of disappointment or whether there was a sense of calm on her, because it didn't make sense. Yes, he's followed and unfollowed her. So what? Did he memorize her voice? Did he memorize what she looked like? In the pods, you can't see someone. How can you say, I said I'm into Christmas, I'm a religious person, and I'm a registered nurse, so you should have known it's me. It's like, nah. I think the serendipity of it is what sort of threw her off and made her feel very comfortable and very familiar with him when she met him. And I think this is the reason why she was so stressed, because I think if it was a matter of her not being attracted to him, she wouldn't have worn her ring. I noticed she still had her ring on, regardless of the fact that she was speaking to him and questioning whether their connection was authentic or whether this was something that he had staged. I loved Daniel's calm. I have to give credit to Daniel, because irregardless of what was going on, he remained calm. He didn't argue. He didn't call her names, or he didn't do anything. All he did was he just sat there and remained calm. And he said to her, if I followed you, then it's something that I don't remember, but I don't remember following you. And please know that there was never any malicious intent behind me sort of exploring a connection with you or me proposing to you, outside of the fact that we had this strong bond, this strong connection, and I felt it, I couldn't pass on it. And it's like, wow, I love this, because it really stood out for me. It really was quite insightful. It was a green flag moment, is what I'm going to say, because of the fact that everything she said and the concerns she had, he remained calm. And once they realized that she made a mistake, he still remained calm, and he still said to her, I want to be with you. So if you want, we can go to Honduras. If you don't want, we can go back home. But I just want to be with you. So wherever you're going, just know that I'm coming with you. And it's like, wow, I love him. I hope he doesn't disappoint me, but I really loved that for her. And I hope she really sees how genuine he is. So you have Nick and Vanessa reveal the couples that are going to Mexico, Joey and Monica. We have Sarah and Ben. We have Lauren and Dave. We also have, they've agreed to go, surprisingly, Taylor and Daniel, which is cute, and Virginia and Devon are going to Honduras as well. This year, I think they've decided against Mexico, and it's like, wow, that's a nice change. But the fact that they're sending everybody to the same place, are they getting a deal then, or what? Or is it easier for production and everybody else to be in the same place? That way they can film. It was cute. It was cute to see everyone come in there coupled and sort of arrive, because they normally have the walk through where couples are walking through the hotel and just having conversations. Devon and Virginia, I didn't quite understand them, the way they were flirting, the way he was showing her his tattoos, and sort of, I think it was trying to make each other comfortable. I think they were trying to make each other comfortable because obviously you've been talking to this person, you haven't been in their presence, you don't know what they are like physically. So I like that they took time to sort of make each other comfortable. He showed her his tattoos. He seems to have sleeves for everything, for cartoons, for games, for superheroes. And she asked him, are you a gamer? And he was like, no, I'm not. And that was, well, she said, are you into cartoons? Not a gamer. Are you into cartoons? And he said, no. He then asked her, are you a gamer? And she said, no. And it's like, what do these two people have in common? What is it exactly that they like about each other? Because I'm still questioning that. You have Dave and Lauren, they're having a conversation. I found that awkward. I found it awkward because she talked about having a wax and then she said, I was told not to have a wax for at least 24 hours. And it's like, seriously, TMI. Of all the things that you could talk about with this man, this is the first thing you're talking to him about. And they seemed very awkward. They reminded me of that couple, was it last season or the season before, where there was a couple that ended up breaking up, I think, on their trip because he wouldn't say anything. And it was like pulling teeth. And in the end, she got tired and she just said, no, I'm done. Let's keep it stepping. And so hopefully they don't become that couple. Sarah and Ben are very giddy. Sarah's excited. She wants to make out with Ben. She wants to hold Ben. And it's like, I hope this lasts. I hope this lasts because normally people that are very physically intimate at first sight, it fades away. I've noticed this on Married at First Sight, and I've also noticed this on Love is Blind. So I hope whatever connection they have is a genuine connection and that it's not just that they're physically attracted to the partner. Taylor and Daniel, given the glitch that they had at the start with, that old couple that sort of gets to their destination and they have to unpack everything and make sure everything is neat and tidy. And then after it's neat and tidy, they then, settle in and do other things where everybody else was making out and sort of holding hands and kissing and stuff. They were unpacking their bags, and making sure everything was clean and tidy. The fact that when he went to the toilet, she offered to sort of run the water for him was amazing. And then I loved the nurse in her, the HCP, whereby she said to him, you need to wash your hands, because I think he forgot to wash his hands after he used the toilet. And it was like, oh, that's really cute. Ben and Monica, they had this dinner outside. Ben has already said that, he is, what do you call that dog? A German Shepherd or something that really likes to cuddle because he was so cutesy. The fact that, they seemed to just enjoy each other's company and getting comfortable around each other. It seemed as though they've known each other a long time. So I have high hopes. I hope this is not just an act that they're putting on and then they end up breaking up on decision day. You have Lauren and David. They go to the jacuzzi. It was interesting that David was just telling her, try and be comfortable. Was she that awkward? Is that why she brought up the conversation about the wax, the Brazilian wax? I didn't quite get it. I think she wants to be making out with him. I think she wants to be all over him. He says this is the first time he's had someone really love him for him and outside of his family. And it's like, why? Why is it nobody likes you? Why is it it's only your partners that, this is the first time you're experiencing proper love? I don't get it, and I'm so confused because one would expect him to have fallen in love before. He's a grown man, if I'm not mistaken. I've forgotten his age, actually. He should have had a relationship with someone enough to fall in love, so I'm side-eyeing him. Is he saying it just because he's trying to look for something nice to say about her, or is he saying it because he genuinely means that he's never been in a sort of serious, loving and committed relationship? So Taylor and Danielle get into the jacuzzi and there's this awkwardness, obviously, with the fact that she made this allegation against him. And I love how he's handled it in the sense that he hasn't sort of withdrawn because he's, felt some type of way about the comment that she made. But instead, he's just been his steady self. He's just been present and allowed her to sort of process whatever she's going through. And so it was cute to see them in the jacuzzi just talking. One thing I've noticed about them is they have this sense of respect, this sense of compassion and empathy for one another, whereby they're not doing anything that might be seen as sort of a certain way or anything inappropriate. They do kiss each other. They give each other pecks here, there. They do speak to each other with respect and compassion, which I loved. And so I can't wait to see what happens with the two of them. They get ready for bed. And it's the cutest thing ever. They do give each other a little peck before they go to bed. But for them, as compared to the other couples, they seem like a married couple that's had a lot of glitch and are sort of trying to sort of process that so that they can move on. That's the sort of vibe I'm getting from them. That's the vibe I'm getting. It's not like two people that are sexually attracted, want to bang and then move on. No, they have this sort of calm between the two of them that I love. You have Ben and Sarah. Ben and Sarah are the complete opposite. Ben and Sarah are excited. They really like each other physically and they can't wait to do whatever they want to do. That's the impression that I get from the two of them. It's just them wanting to sort of knock boots and go to sleep. And I hope they can actually grow this thing, because there were a lot of concerns between the two of them when they were in the pods, especially about their activist movements and stuff. So I wish they'd discuss that more instead of just jumping into bed and getting on with it. Joey and Monica were talking about sleeping, and Joey just seems happy to be there. He just seems happy to be there. He's happy to be with his fiance, and that's him. Whatever she wants to do, he wants to do. They talk about sound machines. I've never slept with the sound machine. I have slept with my tablet playing something and then dozed off and whatever's playing ended. But I've never slept with the sound machine. So she says she's a light sleeper. He says he doesn't know whether he snores. I don't know whether it's because he's never stayed with anyone or anything. But it was cute. Their conversation was very light and very easygoing, so I loved that. Devon and Veronica are giving me questions. I'm curious about their connection. I really am. In regards, is there any romantic connection there, or are they two people who just thought, let's get along just for the sake of getting along so that we can go through this process and then say no on decision day? Because I don't quite understand what's going on between the two of them. The conversations that they're having are very superficial. Even in the pods, they had very superficial conversations outside of him telling her about his addiction. So I am side-eyeing them because I don't know what is actually going on with those two. You have Dave and Lauren. All they do is make out. I don't know why she feels awkward. I don't know whether it's because she's not attracted to this man or he's not attracted to her. Something about the two of them always feels awkward. And so I can't wait to see what's going on between those two. In the morning, you have everyone doing their little diary cams. They're all excited. You can tell who's made out in bed and who hasn't. But hey, they are all adults. You have Devon and Veronica go for a massage, and I loved it. I had a couple of, really deep tissue massages in Bali, and I loved it. I would do that anytime. So I love that they're doing something. I think she chose it, and I think he wanted the piece, so he went along with it, because you had her saying to him, I hope you appreciate having come, and he said, yeah, I would do it again. So it's nice to see that he's accommodating her and he's being there for his partner. Lauren and Dave have another awkward conversation. I personally don't see why they were chosen to go on this sort of, or to be recorded, because their storyline outside of Lauren crying in the pods doesn't make sense. I would like to assume there were other couples that would have been better off being kept on the show than these two. These two, I don't get it. They do a dunk tank thingy. That was cute, but still I am questioning them as a couple, whether it's more Lauren liking this man more than he likes her, and so he's going to push it for as long as he can so that he stays on the show. I loved Sarah and Ben's snorkeling date. I thought that was cute. It's interesting how every time we see them on camera, they're never talking about anything substantial. It's always them doing some sort of activity or them flirting. So it's like, is there more to this connection than just the flirting and the sort of make out? And then we finally get to see Danielle and Taylor. Danielle and Taylor are that old married couple. They are very easygoing. They mind their own business. They don't do anything that would embarrass them. I don't know whether it's because she's a registered nurse and she doesn't want to do anything that could jeopardize her ability to go back to her career, because I know for a couple of HCPs that have struggled to go back to their jobs after the TV shows they were on ended because they've sort of gone against the code of conduct. So I don't know whether that's it, but I love that she actually apologized to him and said, she regrets what she did. Reflective practice, this is common amongst HCPs. So I love that she's actually reflecting on the incident and actually asking herself, would I do this thing again the same way? And she says, no, I wouldn't. And so for him to be understanding and compassionate, I loved it. Although there was something that happened that was a little odd, because they were holding hands, they shared a kiss, but then she sort of seemed to pull her hand away from him. And it's like, is their connection not as deep as they're making us believe, or what? I now understand why Joey said people call him a golden retriever. Sorry, yeah, that's the dog you talked about. Because he's always happy-go-lucky. He's always, very happy. And so it was quite an eye-opening actually to hear him talk about his OCD and how, I think there were problems going on in his family. I think his mom and dad were fighting, or whether they were separating or whatever, and he suddenly developed this need for control, and so he would touch things, he would do certain behaviors to sort of try and control the environment around him. He would count his steps when he's walking, and I think this was just him trying to sort of gain control over everything that was happening in his life. And so for him to talk about the fact that he was offered, medication therapy, but he said he wanted to try and do it on his own. I have a feeling maybe this is why he decided to he decided to train and become an HCP, which I think was a very good story for him to tell. I wish we had heard more of that story, and I wish that we'd also heard this in the pods, because this will help someone that's going through the same thing. They were really cute. I loved it. Devon and Virginia. I'm so sorry, I've been calling her Veronica, haven't I? Devon and Virginia, they were just talking and they're happy to be around one another. They're so cute. And they got into the pool, and I think they were making out in the pool, or whatever they were doing in the pool. I still don't understand their connection. I wish we had seen them sit down, have a meal, and have a conversation, or something that's more insightful. Not just, we get to see them having massages, now we get to see them in the pool. Is there nothing else they're doing, or is everything else they're doing so boring that the producers are looking for something that's got a bit of meat on it that they can show? I didn't understand that bit. You have Lauren and Dave sit down for a conversation. I think Dave got the ick. I'm going to say it now. I think he got the ick, but he's trying to come across as a good guy, so he's not going to say that he got the ick, because he asked her, how will you feel, have you thought about when I speak to Molly, how you'll feel about that? And it's like, why is Molly coming into this equation? Why are we discussing Molly? You told Molly she wasn't your person and Lauren was your person. So what has Molly got to do with the situation? And then it comes up that apparently they spoke about their exes, and he had been single for 4 years. She was seeing someone before she came into the show because, according to her, it's quite a lengthy process. And so she decided to see someone, and if she had found someone, then she wasn't going to come. But because she didn't find anyone, that's why she came. He says he knows 2 of the guys that she's dated, one through mutual friends, and the other one, I think he knows them personally. They go to the same pool or the same exercise gym, and it's like, I think this guy got the ick. He really did, and he's looking for a way to sort of put her down. He keeps going on about her going to the toilet several times of the day. Maybe she's got a UTI. Maybe that's the reason why. Why are you shaming her for using the toilet constantly? Maybe she drinks a lot more fluids than you do, and so she's constantly in the toilet. Instead of you sort of shaming her for that, maybe have a conversation with her and actually find out what's going on. I didn't like that conversation. Him sort of holding on to the fact that she sort of dated people that he knows. I don't know how I feel about that, really. I don't know how I feel about that, because it makes me question, is he upset because she's dated people that he knows, or is he upset because he's got the ick? He also said, Molly had been in a long-term relationship with someone, but she had been single for 6 months. And it's like he's got buyer's remorse. Why is Molly in this equation? You dumped Molly. Molly didn't dump you. You dumped Molly. So why are we talking about Molly's relationships? And so for Lauren to say, oh, but you said Molly hadn't been in a relationship. And he said, oh, well, it was someone she was seeing on and off. And it's like, why is she a part of this equation? I have a feeling whatever happened between the 2 of them, whether they had sex, whether it's the fact that she goes to the toilet several times, whether it's the fact that she moves about in bed all night, something gave him the ick, and he's trying to look for a diplomatic way to say, we're done. So I can't wait to see the continuation of this conversation. Anyway, thanks guys for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe, and click the link in my video to watch my review from episode 6. Bye guys.